Hello friends, I'm Colonel Failure, and you're joining me back in the Alps for some more hot train action. As you can see, we're starting off in a good place today with this chap here, who is the Lumber Plank Service, innovatively named, that's bringing 160 bits of plank to the nearby depot, goods, hub, however you wish to describe it. But this particular setup has started to pay off. Now, you see, I got distracted by the train coming in there, and what I'd meant to do was just hang around here for random action. There should be random action happening at this particular junction. While we wait for said random action, let's have a quick look at the scoreboard here. So we've... what have we spent this year? I find it hard to believe I've only spent $1.5 million on track, but we have spent $113 million on new vehicles, which is significant. And actually, when you combine the... Oh no, we've also spent $91 million on construction. Okay, well, that's fair enough then. And you stick those two together, and all of a sudden it starts to look like I'm some kind of mathematical budgeting genius, as we are only $116 million down for the year. Basically, we're making mad profit right now. A serious quantity of goods. See, look, that's why we were sat here. Action. Right, where Mirage is packing a full load. Good. You're having to wait for a goods train to clear through, but you're also packing a goodly amount of passengers there. I was kind of hoping for the corn train to turn up. There's no sign of it immediately in that direction. But hey, you know, this is it would be nice actually if it was busier still, but you can't have it all. I'm sure there will be more action as time goes on. Let's go track down the corn train, for it is the one thing that is hauling containers at the moment. Hold on, what have we got down here? There you go. This running empty. That's okay. You're gonna have plenty of business when you look at this lot. Right, what have we got waiting? We've got 129 corn waiting for the plastic service, which is up here somewhere. Basically, what I'm trying to sell you here is that it is by and large working. What have you got? You've got... No, that's click the train, not the station. Click train. Thank you. 90 plastic on board. Well, that's not going to set the world alight, but we did just drop off a reasonable amount of corn there. Now, we do need 2 corn for every chunk of plastic that we're going to make, so maybe I need to up the frequency on that one. I will take it under advisement. However, it is working. If we look at the line profitability, admittedly, we're only a couple of months after I rudely left you last time around. So it's unlikely that we're going to be profitable so far, but we can at least have a look and see what the scores on the doors are. Balance, please. Right, the Riverbank Hypertrain. I went a bit squeaky there for some reason. 1.63 million in the hole. Ouch. The primary lumber activity, I don't understand why this is losing so much cash, is another 1.6 in the hole. The looper is down 800,000, 900,000, something along those lines. And that's where we're going to be focusing our attention today. We're going to look at the looper. We're going to head up to the top of the mountain end so that we can allow this down slope area to develop a little bit more and see where that gets us. But it's been a long time since we were up the top of the mountain. So come with me and we shall go on a joy flight together to go and see how things are going topside. Now, before we catch our plane, here we are back at Hub and Distribution Central, and ay caramba, there is an awful lot of stuff kicking around waiting. I mean, that's good, because it means that, positive things are happening. You're carrying nothing. Excellent. We do have some goods waiting to go out. That's positive, at least. Meanwhile, what have we got going on here? You're going to burn, and you're going to be taking a relatively full load. Okay. You're going to Volan, and actually, that's as full a load as I've seen you take in some time. And then that's the oil train. They're doing fine as well. So it continues to tick along, and we do make a reasonable amount of money in this area. Apologies for frame rate slippage there. What I usually try and do, and there's a pro tip for you if you're not aware of it already, is when you first load the game up, you should take a tour of the map. Always worth taking a tour of the map, and then it loads in much of the map, so you're not loading it in as you scroll past it. When you're late game, it's only 1986, but I think we should seriously consider this late game at this point. It's particularly helpful. There we go. That's a semi-pro tip there. We've got one whole passenger awaiting us. I am deeply disappointed that this area never fully developed, you know. I mean, it's so close to getting development. We got a weird interchange of passengers, always have had. But, you know, considering the proximity of Locarno and how Locarno's grown, would it kill them to come out this way a little bit more? I mean, I've done all I can as far as roads and buses and aeroplanes and, you know, good-looking trains and more aeroplanes and all the rest of it. And they're just letting me down. They're a grand disappointment. Anyway, I'm going to up the tempo because I'd quite like to fly out to the top end of the map rather than just skip my way merrily up there. It sounded like quite a snappy sentence in my head, that one. Turns out I couldn't pronounce it. Right, let's jump on board. I don't think we've actually travelled in this direction before. Oh, look at that. There's some slideshow-esque frame rate for you as well. And my constant frame rate references at the moment are, of course, the prelude to, hey kids, we're coming up on the end of the series here. We run it till it dries up as far as performance is concerned, and then we'll move on to the next thing. Now, if we're lucky, we will see a Dakota emerging from the mountain pass there. Failure's Gorge, Colonel's Gully, or any other thing that sounds, you know, faintly unpleasant. Obviously, we don't go that way on the way out. We will be zipping over the top, but who knows what views may await us as we do so. Kind of wishing we'd go a little bit faster. Yeah, but I've committed to this flight now, and so have you. So we'll see how we get on with that. Now, it's good that we can make out a bridge from here. That's kind of cool. And that's Alp de Sorecchia, unless I'm very much mistaken. And we'll certainly be stopping off down there in a little while because the looper is one of the services that ends up there. So I need to figure out how to make that work. And what we're going to try and do is not relay the whole of the looper because I don't want it. There goes a train. I know, how amazing is that? And in fact, we should probably see a couple. There's a looper. See, looping. He's there. There's a plane about to enter the gully of certain snowfall or some such. Anyway, it's quite a jaunty view we've got going on up here as we head in towards Blenio, which we haven't checked in on in some time. In fact, it may be as long as 20 years since we last looked up here. And I would hope, although, you know, it's a fairly thin hope, but I would hope that it had taken the time to develop fully. Tell me we're not going to fly through the mountain. You know, I could handle a narrow skim, which it looks like we're going to do. Oh, it's like the pilot is deliberately choosing that, yes, mate, we're going to take this incredibly chancy corner through a slight dip in the mountainside before coming into land. And there has been some development. Oh, that's good. Not much, but we've had some. As you can see, the houses on the left, as we look at them now, have been building up. There we go. We'll get out of the way. What have we got? Another Class 37 to choose from. A Russian panel truck. And a Class 290 and 291. Which I think they're just trying to persuade us are two separate trains, when in fact they're exactly the same one with just a different number on there. The purists among you, of course, will now be pointing out that there is a completely different purpose to both those trains, but you know, I'm a layman, and therefore I think in layman's terms. Right, let's have a look here. So Blenio has, it's got a bit of a weird development. I mean, it's kind of rooted in this gully, but we do have commuters waiting. Yeah, I mean, more commuters waiting than we've got capacity, strictly speaking, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. You know, always running full is quite often quite positive. And then we've got our secondary service here that is just the airport service, serving both the train and the airport at the same time. And it's just not picking up. Now, I've been wondering whether if we call up the overall service here, because we're still running these aged red arrows, as much as this one's, or it was originally a kind of turquoisey kind of colour, but now is more rust than turquoise. Let's go finances. So you've burned 13,000 this year. How about the route overall? It could just be that it's quite old, because I don't think we've got these on auto replace. Right, 169 in the hole this year. Okay, well, that's, could be worse. And it's been bubbling around that for a little while. Yeah, 40 years old. So these trains are quite ancient, and just replacing them will make them a little bit more profitable. There you go, that's a word. But we don't want to do that. What we want to do is we want to modernize. We want to get these chaps really thumping some. So I'm going to delete this depot. I made a half-hearted and vague commitment to not using the buffer depot anymore, because it's downright disgraceful. So we'll pull off around there, and then we'll slip switch that one, which we won't actually need to do, but it's a sensible maneuver at the time. And then terrifying bridge. We'll stick a quick depot on the end here, and on the end there you go. Yep, got electrification, all good. Right, so we have the opportunity to replace. Now, the reason for the depot is so that I can retire one, maybe two of the existing trains on this line, because if we're going to up the capacity, wait there, we're about to up the capacity, then we can consider reducing the number of trains. So let's have a look and see what's available. Chances are the Metroliner will enter into our consideration in the very near future. Obviously, we're waiting for the train menu to load up. First time it loads up at this stage, the game can take a minute or two. There we go. Right, let's have a look at the electrics. We do have the future train. And as tempting as it may be, what's your passenger capacity? Nothing. Is this just a locomotive? I suspect that's just a locomotive. We've got the NS MAT 64 Plan V. Plan 5. No, it is Plan V. This is the Plan T. The useful Dutch trains that we are already running, so I'm reluctant to use them. The Mirage isn't as fast. What's its running cost? 1.5 versus 1.25, which is faster and carries more. These are not splendidly balanced, I must say. I think we might end up going Dutch again. We've got the TGV, which isn't going to... Well, no, it's all right. Hold everything. We found flipping heck. How much? 180 passengers, or on the 10-car set, 300 passengers. And the running costs really are not that high. I must find a use for this Japanese railway item. Okay, not up here. The TGV, no point in running it up here. 5 million quid a year, 300 kilometres an hour is magnificent, but it's just not going to fit. The Metroliner obviously yells, but again, this is 3 million quid a year, and it's nice and quick, carries a decent number of passengers, but we don't have that level of demand. I think we're gonna have to go Dutch again. In fact, we'll go cheap Dutch. 561. Let's have a look at the diesel multi-units that we've got. And I don't think we've got anything to compete. Well, obviously you've got the 101s, but they're actually not that much cheaper. to keep running. The HST is not even going to enter into that equation. Just for the sake of comparison, let's have a quick look at what we've got up here. We haven't had anything new in this area for a little while. And actually, this isn't really the place for these. So, we're going Dutch. There is a time and a place for experimenting with other vehicle types, and this is neither of those things. We'll take that 36 instead of 18, so we basically double our capacity. Smashing. 36. I'm going to turn auto replacement on as well. I know, that's just how I roll. And we'll go replace now. Actually, we won't go replace now. We'll retire this chap. Get sold. And then we will replace the rest of them. There we go. Right, so we'll only drop it by 1. The extra capacity might even help Blenio grow a little bit more, because once we get out of Blenio and the airport area, there is actually a reasonable amount of city growth going on, and we shall go and take a look at that in a moment, as soon as something that looks like a train appears for us to ride on board. Because why would you... I mean, if I hadn't retired that one, that would have been the ideal candidate for this job. Let's up the tempo. Make this red arrow look like it's really shifting. Wallop. Future train. Yeah. Any second there'll be one along. Any second. And I am poised. I'm coiled to slow down so that we may jump on board. Any time now. There we go. What do you think, gang? Should we ride on? Let's ride on. Okay, a slightly bumpy bit of rail crossing there. If I was dedicated to keeping the track looking beautiful, I would have fixed that up. Anyway, this one was clearly already en route, as it has not yet been replaced. So we should all eagerly look forward to a change in engine note once this transference is done. There goes one. Look, beautiful. Now, we might change these up again in the future, but particularly, I mean, the Metroliner will probably find its use somewhere. I don't want to be anywhere near as widespread as I am typically. The reason the Metroliner ends up being used so much is because it is just such a ubiquitous train service. It's fast, it carries a good number of passengers, and you know, if you're filling it every time, it's relatively inexpensive. But I can't justify it up here, where despite being at high altitude already, people are still watching the skies in that way that they do. Anyway, as we enter the underground section, there becomes increasingly less reason for us to be riding on this train. I was intending to show off just how well developed this section of the map is, but we're not going to get any of that from here. You know, passing another upgraded train. Toot toot, hello. But okay, I guess we'll get to appreciate how many passengers there are at the next station. That's you know, that's always pretty riveting, isn't it? Yes. And this tunnel looks about as convincing as ones that I've dug in 7 Days to Die. The texture a little bit repetitive. However, you know, I'm not going to complain, as much as that was a bit of a complaint. We're going to stay on board this until we do. If I recall correctly, there is a very small, a very momentary section of open sky coming up either between this station and the next one, or the two after that. Look, I want to ride on it. In fact, no, I don't. I want to get off here, get off, right? And then we want to go and view it from the surface as the train passes underneath, because that's the cooler thing to do, if we can remember where it is. There's a good number of passengers waiting there. 50 and 70, that's nice. Where did I leave it? It's not here, because obviously we're topside by that point. Where is it? Am I going too fast to actually observe? That's the next station. Oh, come on, I know it goes underneath. I know there's a visible bit somewhere. I made it for precisely this kind of reason, so that we could go and do a little bit of look down on the trains from above. It's not going to oblige me. It's not going to make it easy. This is what you get when you don't visit it for 20 odd episodes. Forget where anything is. We didn't pass under it already. I'm relatively certain of that. Unless, of course, we did, and I'm just wrong. Can't rule that out. Nope, it's not disappeared. Is it this area? Are you thinking of another town? No, I don't think I am. Anyway, there we go. I'll zoom out so we can get a full sense of the scale of the beast in a moment, and then we shall turn our attention to the looper. So the looper is going to go through a slightly different evolution that I have not yet fully thought through. So we're going to get to go through that together, which I know is always joyous. Is that it? No, that's just the station. I'm sure it was around here. I'm sure I left a little peephole checking down on... There it is, there. Right. There you go. Now that we've made it, we're going to hang around and get a thrilling train shot. I can't even think about what the best angle is. Yeah, we're definitely in the right place. Well, obviously we're in the right place. Thrilling train shot me. Let's go. Let's be having it. Don't have all day. Make it happen. While we wait, now, here's the thing, is if this works, with the additional capacity that these trains have on them, it's going to run more passengers up to Blenio itself. So more people will... This is potentially a little old for a bus, and there goes the train. Hooray. Yeah, it's going to run more passengers up to Blenio, and then more people will get on planes. Blenio may grow as a result, and hopefully more people will come back as a result, leading to some growth. That's the hope, anyway. Right, let's put something compelling up here. I quite like the look of the Burkhoff Duvedek. Sure, why not? There we go. We'll take that. Replace now. Bendy buses up at the top of the Alps. Beautiful. Right, onwards. Right, so let's head to Alp de Surecia. There we go, here we go. Let's do the zoomed out view. So this is turning into one big district kind of urban growth situation, and it's great. It's not going to grow that much more, not without some serious AI mountain kind of regeneration stuff going on, but, you know, it's cool nonetheless. Let's just pop ourselves down here to Gurtnellen. What do we got waiting? Oh, actually, Vossen to Gurtnellen seems to have picked up the tempo a little bit. I haven't been up here for ages. It's good though, isn't it? Look at that. And is that a bit of Looper, or is that a bit of the other one, whose name escapes me currently? Right, there we go. What are you? You're Vossen Gurtnellen, 21 on board, and then here is the end of the Looper. Right, okay, let's look at the finances for this then. Finances. Last year we sunk 870k. That's not as bad as it could be, and we've got, and in fact all of the vehicles are ancient. Make sure we're not auto replacing right now. So if they were brand new, then you know, maybe there'd be some potential for this. Right, let's vaguely follow the route. So at present, the Looper, where are you heading to? You're heading to Goshenen. Ah, yes, we extended it in order to hopefully make a little bit more profit out of the thing, and it does seem to be working. So Goshenen's up here, and then after that, you're waiting for a free path. That's odd. You shouldn't be. Also, looks like you're only using one side of the line. Is that working as intended? Please hold. And it's moving again, so it's clearly hadn't finished off in a total head-to-head scenario. Now, if I recall, this does some kind of insane underground maneuver to get up there. And then on here, show me everything I can see. Yeah, and then you know, leave it open. Voss and Ellen. Right, so that's doing that. Maybe I'm just short on a signal or two, because that's how I've got them coming in. Okay, well, I guess that makes sense. But no. This should be coming up on the other track, because then they are going head to head. I'm surprised this hasn't broken. Interesting. Okay. Yo, Loopy. How about you come back on this side? Now, I can't even see the flipping tracks at this point, because you can't head into the tunnel to have a look. What we might be able to do... Where are you? Just missed it. Well, that's unfortunate. Although we are about to turn around. Okay, haven't just missed it at all. So when we turn around, we should be able to see why it is not switching track, because it should be running both sides. So as we head back towards Vossen South, not the most elegant tunnel entrance I've ever built. I think that's fair. Oh no, there we go. There's the track switch. It does do it. It just does it inside the tunnel. Everything is fine here. That's fine. Okay, fine, right, good. Right, and then obviously as the looper leaves here, it goes on quite the merry jaunt. Looper, please. There we go. As you can see, jaunt, merry, and extended at that. An extended merry jaunt. And that's why it doesn't make much money, or why it's challenging to make money, because it spends so much time doing kind of laps rather than hitting up stations. It takes a very so what's a good word for this? Poor. It takes a very poor route in a profitable sense, and then we come around the far side here and end up in Erolo, where not an awful lot of people, if I'm honest, are waiting for it. Because if anybody had any common sense, they'd just get in a car and drive up here. It really is much closer, but there you go. That's the situation we're faced with. So I don't want to dump too much cash on here, but I'm sure there is money in these hills, figuratively speaking. Maybe if I were to run, I don't think I could get down the mountainside, but if I were to run a second service down from here, this would be quite a lot of bulldozing, and then into the station here. Look at this. This is built up magnificently. What have we got waiting? This is where the Japanese train might work quite well. Ooh, that's interesting. How fast is it? Okay, I have become momentarily distracted. I'm still on topic. The looper will still find itself... find itself engaged momentarily. Right, Lower Valley into City. What are you doing in terms of... So what has it made? 762,000 this year. Well, last year it made 5.5 million. Very nice. It was actually, last year, it was number 5 on the earnings leaderboard. That's pretty respectable. 68 capacity, but what is the running cost on this chap? We'll have a look, shall we? Running cost on a Plan T is 1.25 a year versus double that for 180 passengers, which is almost 3 times as many passengers. Top speed 110 versus 140. This is too slow. If anything, I should run this on the looper, given that it's so slow. But you can't argue with this passenger capacity. I'd as much as I'd like to run the 10 car, 300 passengers at a time, I think I'm unlikely to hit. We could retire quite a few of the existing trains. I mean, as you can see, we've got we're looking at here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 trains running on there. If I were to drop that to, I don't know, 5 and make it this 300, what level of genius is that? You know what? We're not far from the end of the series. I think we can make it profitable. Let's make it happen. Bang it on. We all want to see it. Look at the length of that. How long is it? 205 metres. Oh, okay. Right. I mean, my size station should be able to cope with that. 22.6 per vehicle. I could press replace now, couldn't I? But then I'd be costing myself a merry fortune. Right, you get sold, and you. I'm just picking them at random. Now, I imagine this is going to break everything, because I'm not looking at where they are. Yeah, you see, he's just turned around on the wrong bit of track. Yeah, this is going to wreck the lot, but that's okay. Unpicking this stuff is half the fun. And you, there you go. What have we got left here? That's 3. That's 6. Yeah, I said 5, didn't I? You get sold. There we are. Right, let's see how that works out. You're waiting for a free path, which means you're a troublemaker. We'll give this a minute and see if it settles down, and if need be, get rid of that for the moment so I don't inadvertently push a button that I didn't advertently mean to do. Yeah, well, while you're waiting for a free path, you're holding someone up. This much I know for certain. And if I tell you to turn around, you'll tell me there's no path electric. Go, get sold. Oh, okay. Who are you waiting for then? Could just be that he's waiting for other trains to do their thing. But we're heading up here somewhere. Yeah, you're going the right way. That's good. That's what we want to see. Aha! There we go. Right, you I think is our interesting. All right, let's head back here. What we might do, this might alleviate things. It might not, but you never know. Just stick one of those in. There you are. Then you can get on the right side of the track and then head to the depot and not break everything. Perfect. Clearly I thought this through. Okay, I think that hasn't broken it. Although we'll know for certain in a moment because the alert giver here, there are no warnings, people. Yeah, get used to that. That's the level of expertise and professionalism we have all come to expect. You two are heading for the depot, but which way are you heading? Okay, I don't know. Meanwhile, we will replace everything else. Let's turn auto replacement on. 92 million quid, friends. I'll pay it. I've still got 40 in the bank. That's fine. I can't remember what the running cost was. I imagine it was quite a bit. Right, there we go. Oh, this is going to be great, seeing those in action. But meanwhile, we're waiting for the Dutch banana here to get underway, and there it goes. Right, splendid. Let us go see the magnificent first entry, which we certainly will in a moment. We might even come close to filling one or two of them. Oh, hello. What are you doing? Are you switching over? You are switching over. There we go. Japanese trains running in Italy. Oh, making quite the noise as well. Well, it's an unconventional site, that's for sure. But we've made it happen. Interestingly enough, as well, it looks like. Yeah, it looks like that it's made out of this new incredibly translucent material that you can see through the bottom of. I won't criticise it. If I'd made a mod, I would be in a position to criticise, but I haven't, and therefore I don't. So it's possibly better to view this from a slightly further distance. Okay, here we go. I've got floating prices off at the moment because it happens so frequently. It ruins every screenshot I try and make. But yeah, what do we think of that as an angle? That's not bad. Right, speak with me here. He is going to fill up quite well, you know. In fact, he's going to fill up quite nicely. Look at this, all 300. This could be quite the money spinner. Let's go catch it up further down the line. If we can find the line. There's the line. Coming out to the bridge, maybe? That could work. Come on, set yourself up for the kind of glamour shot that you're well renowned for. Get the cursor out of the way. Despite the fact you can fix that in post, as we say in professional circles. Well, there's a lot of train for your money there. I am going to turn on the floaty green text. I'm desperate to know how much it makes when we turn when we land at the other end. And we'll head back to the looper in a minute. But frankly, this is way more interesting. Now, it's not very quick, but I'm hoping that the quantity of personage that we are transporting will offset the fact that it's not very quick. I'm also hoping that I don't have one of those situations close to a station where the train is so long it can't adequately turn around. Where are you heading? You're still heading to a depot. You've evidently chosen the scenic route. Alright, here we come. I can hear it. So can you. Now, here's where it either makes it all the way through the points, because this only looks like a fairly short station. Something just made me 4 million quid there. Yeah, okay, this is broken. If the number I just saw floating up there was 300 grand, I am very upset. And it looks like it may have been. Surely not. How many people have you still got on board? At least 150 still on board. This diamond is not going to do the job. We're going to need to move it out a bit. Either that or elongate the station. Both might be a wise plan. Anyway, let's. If we're going to run the longer trains, we're going to need to set our facilities up accordingly. Right, and then stick the signal in there. Actually, I'm quite pleased with myself having clocked that, you know. All too often, I would have missed that one, and next thing we know, we would have been looking at stuff not working. Anyway, right, you may get underway. Please make a little bit more money, if that was only 300 grand. Especially since you're going to fill up again. Right, where are you off to, folks? I don't know why all those people got on board since this was going the wrong way. That's still good. Where was it? I don't know. He's off to get sold, but I'm at a bit of a loss to know where that was. Right, let's have a look here. Right, upgrade. I need a bit more length. One building will be removed. We can totally live with that. Terrain alignment collision. Well, typically we can live with that as well, but in this case, I suspect it's because of existing track. Are we going to risk it? Well, we need a longer station, so yes, we're going to risk it. Right, let's bulldoze away at both ends, because I don't see any obvious reason why this wouldn't work. All right, I can see some potential reasons why this wouldn't work. That bit of road, for example, but there's loads of space at the other end. We might need to remove this as well. Let's have a look. No, you don't need to do any of that. Just click on the station, hit the upgrade button, and go a bit more length, please. 2 buildings will be removed. I'll settle with that. That's fine. How about, what if we went for like 280? 2 buildings will be removed. There you go. That includes a minor smidge of future-proofing. I'll take it. There we are. That's probably the least painful upgrade I have done to a station in my entire career. We should have some kind of party to commemorate this moment. Anyway, right, let's get the track hooked back up. I don't know what that double pop of building was there. I wonder if I just made a bit of a mess of things. Can't rule it out. And it's always my default position is always I might have made a mess of that. Right, and then I need to... Where's your snap point? I assume it's there. If it's not, you'll let me know quite quickly. Too much slope? No, definitely not too much slope. The perfect amount of slope, I think you'll find. Do not make me go to town with the smoothing gun. It will not end well for either of us, for I will become agitated if it doesn't comply relatively quickly. It's because we're on a corner. It's also because that is hellaciously lumpy. All right, let's shorten this this diamond junction and see if that makes it a little bit happier. All right, something like that would be fine because you're still in the acceleration bit there. Do not give me too much slope. I am not interested in talking too much slope with you today. Let's apply one quick spin of the smoother and then see if that did it. I think I might need to decrease the altitude of that bank to the side there. Construction not possible. I don't believe you. Yeah. Okay, right, well, you know, we're not defeated yet. Give me 5 minutes and then we'll be defeated. Actually, I don't have a plan B here. Come on. It's easier if I do it this way because I know exactly where the start point is. Too much slope. What is your issue with this bit? You're not changing the shape of this bit of track in the slightest. You can leave that bit alone. We're fine with that. Right, okay, right, let's try grinding this bit a little bit. See, we're even grinding both sides of the track now. That's our commitment to getting this bit done. Where's my points? I mean, I can make this shorter still. I could delete the track and smooth all of this area. All right, let's try that next. I'm not optimistic, but we'll give it a go. Don't delete the station. That would be bad. Right, and then we smooth. That's not smooth though, is it? That's a bit of a landslip. That's a sinkhole we just created. Okay, now you've made it taller than the surrounding area. But look at the impact we're having on the local folk though. They're loving it. Right, whip that around there. Whip this through here. That looks a bit slopey there now. All right, okay, and let's make this as short as possible. All right, and see how we get on. I mean, that's not as short as possible. It's close to as short as possible. And too much curvature, too much slope, too much this, too much that, too much hassle. Dump it. Try again. I did because we need a junction here. We need the train to be able to come back in the opposite direction. If we can't do that, I'm going to have to think of another idea. Now, it might be extending the route. But then that's just, that's kicking the problem a stop further down the line. Or is it? Do we need a full diamond? Will one junction... I think one junction will do it, won't it? He says, the realization suddenly dawning on him. See, if we do this, then that's all it really needs. A bit of ballast there, getting somewhat carried away. I wonder if we can... No, we can't. In fact, you've just ruined everything for everybody. Smooth it back out again. There we go. Right. Trot on. Let's see if that works. Oh, hello. We've foxed someone already. No path electric. What do you mean no path electric? Everybody else has zipped through here without any hassle. Oh, hold on. There could well be a bit of track missing from the other end. What do you know? Right, okay. How's that? No, that's ugly. Right, okay, we're going to have to delete a bit more. We're still getting under this bridge, though. I'm letting you know that in advance. Right, go up to there. That's better. And down and in. Go. Take it. Thank you. Right. Smashing. And go. There you are. You're now looking more promising. You'll zip through there, hopefully, without too much issue. Now, we are going to need a signal on here, because I just removed one. Exactly what that signal was for, I'm not entirely sure. However, there was a junction here as well, because there's another backing service, if I recall correctly. And I think it needs to go this... No, you need track, dude. There you are. No, that's not right. Neither's that. Try this. There you go. How do you feel about that? Wait. No. You're about to do something bad. Don't do it. Just hang on. Hold your horses there, Mr. 37. How's that look? That doesn't look too bad. Let's do that. There we are. Right. Now, do as I'm anticipating you do. Thank you. Right, good. Potential crises averted there. How much have you got on board? 126. Very nice. In fact, the Lakeside Traveller may be due an upgrade before too long. We'll see how that pans out. Now, given that we've not... Hold on, no, there comes one. No, look, he's got 300 on board. Brilliant. Are we going to get to witness the 37 and a Japanese train sat next to each other? If I stop this train, yes, quite possibly. And who said I never fake screenshots? I think I did. Tidy that up a bit. Get this out of the way. Brace for it. Oh, floating green flipping text. Alright, maybe I've not perfected the ultimate glamour shot there, but even so, this is quite the commuter service that we've got going on. Let's see it empty this platform in an entirely unexpected fashion. Or not, as the case may be. I wonder what these people are actually doing on board if they wanted to go in the opposite direction. They should just get off the train. Because we've filled up again, and there are still, beg your pardon, there are still 200 people waiting. The good news is that might afford me the option to add maybe another service on here. But we'll have to see how that rolls. I don't think it's going to be as profitable as the Dutch trains that have replaced it. At the current time, it doesn't look that way, especially given that we have effectively emptied the station. We've completely emptied the station further up. But we'll see. What have we got waiting here? Yeah, see, but the volume of people that we're now shipping in here could lead to some high growth. Now, I don't think this station is long enough, is it? Nice 200 metres. The train's 205. So maybe there's enough room for them to get onto the points here. I don't know. We'll have to see. Right, I'm going to go high speed just to make sure this isn't broken before we press on and have a quick look at the looper. And I still haven't decided what I'm going to run on there either. Extending the line for the looper it's a bold way to go. If I could pull it off, it will probably lead to another airborne section of track, which it's not the most desirable. I am slightly concerned as to where the trains are, but I just need to be patient. I need the faith. Just hold it together. There'll be one coming any time now. We're at high speed because that's the only way to live when you're waiting for stuff. This guy's clearly agitated. We can even check that there is one due. Lower Valley Intercity, it goes both ways. This is not the end of the line. That's weird. I thought it was. Maybe we go another one. Oh, here we go. Here comes one now. It is... oh, and there's it. Oh, all right. Typical. I've got a wealth of screenshots to play with in this one. And look at the number of passengers we've just dumped out of there. This can't help but grow the... where are we at the moment? Aqua Rossa. Can't help but grow that a little bit more. Where are you going next? Oh, of course, I turned this into the full route that heads up to Sarreccia. Of course. Right, okay, let's go back to the Looper. I'm quite pleased with my little Japanese acquisition there. I think that's rather splendid. Right, here we go. Erolo. Right. Erolo, spending all my money. So, the route itself, if you've been around for the series, you'll know this already, but I'm going to do a quick repeat here. It goes out and around here, right? And then inside the mountain, it comes up a bit, and then it goes round and round and round and round and round and round, and then it crosses over this bit of bridge. At which point we hit the heady heights of 85 kilometers an hour. I think this might top out at 90. I think this might top out at 100. Just guessing. And tops out at 100 kilometers an hour, right? So it's not the quickest train you're ever going to see. Before heading all the way over here, cuts through the mountain again. Before looping back down around here, then around the edge, then we go all the way around here. And the reason it takes this this somewhat extended route is because it has got an awful lot of altitude to burn off on its way down to its destination. It keeps going round. I think we do a couple of laps here before we come round and down to Goshennon somewhere. Or do we? Well, it's clearly not just going to go round and round in a circle forever, but it ends up somewhere, that's for sure. And it is, in fact, right here at Vossen South. There's the Looper via Goshennon, via Erolo. And nobody wants to use it because it is an incredibly inefficient way to travel. The question is, what am I going to replace these guys with? They're too old. I can't live with them. Now, the top speed of this train, how many are we running on here? A goodly number. Please hold. Autosave is wanting to say a few words to the people back home. In your own time there, autosave. What you're telling me is all my progress has been saved. Well, that's excellent. Right, so if we look at the red arrow, which is it's electric. Okay, there we go. Top speed of wherever it is, 125 allegedly. No, maybe those aren't red arrows. Maybe those are M300s, and you can't tell the difference between the two. You've been describing them as such all the way through the episode. There's no way to blag that was a one-time slip-up. Oh. Yeah, oh, indeed. It's an M300, dear boy. 168k a year. That's what you're rocking at the moment, with a passenger capacity of 13. Does that seem familiar? Moving swiftly on. Right, what have we got here? We've got the 101, 113. It's got three times as much capacity, yes. And it's like 2.5 times the cost. That might work. Ish. I don't want to run the 101 in the mountains if I can avoid doing so. This route is not electrified. So that rules out any electric options we may have been considering. Now, if we've got a 168k per loco, what we'd be looking at is, I mean, we could run something slower, but even then, these 290s are 324. They're shunters. I mean, it would be a little out of its native habitat there, but you could put a heck of a lot of carriages on one. But the running cost is huge, and nobody wants to use it anyway. So cease your waffling on such things immediately. There really isn't anything in the standalones to make it happen. I think we're going to have to go. We either go with the 101 or we stick with what we've got. Right, and the 101's not that much faster. I think it's possibly got a little bit better acceleration. Let's have a quick compare contrast. Attractive 30, power 200. I mean, that's... But then again, it's only 25 tons. So, you're up against... Alright, 2 and a bit times the weight. More power, more attractive. Let's do it. Add that in there. Right, how many vehicles are we currently running? Several. Right, well, how about we retire 3 of them? Go on, get... You can't find a depot. Alright, can you... No, wait. Can you find a depot? I suspect there is a depot that is available to half of them at any given time. I am prepared for my suspicions to be rendered null and void. No, I can't afford to replace all of you guys. Especially if nobody is wanting to ride on it anyway, this is just a way of costing me even more cash. Anyone? I'm going to have to place a new depot. Okay, fine. We can do that. Is anybody out near Boston South? Right. No, Arolo even. Where are you? Oh, you're still coming round the mountain. That's no use. There you go. I appreciate I'm getting in the way of some perfectly fine scenic shots here with all these windows popped up. There we go. Oh, it says my name on the side of the train and everything. Right. We're just going to have to go and do it the old school way. Oh, I see. If I want them to get into the depot, the only place I can do it is when they've just come into this station. Or maybe I intercept one. Here you go. Get to the depot. Right, if I retire 3 of these and then upgrade all the others, I'm not overjoyed with this train selection, but I think it's the only one that actually makes any sense when it comes to potentially making a profit here. Anything more than this, and I'm going to be throwing money away, and half the goal. And to be honest, just replacing these old trains would have done a reasonably good job at that. But no. All right. While we're waiting for more trains to turn up, let's slow this down again. Let's just have a quick speculative. Just because we're in the area, fling this over here. All right. Now that's quite a tall bridge. So what we would look at is we wouldn't try and get into Coronico because there's no point to it. If we head over this way, all right, let's say something like that. All right, so if we then, how much bridge pillar have you got there? You've got a reasonable shake of bridge pillar there, but if we said you didn't, because we managed to be cunning about it, and we wanted to come down over here. How much bridge are you talking about? You're not talking about much bridge at all, actually. You may even be able to wrap it round. There we go. There it is. That's it. That's the way you do it. Now, obviously, we've got some collision going on, but that's not insurmountable. We could get the altitude right to merge onto the track here, which could put it into whatever the next station along the line is. Oh, this is absolutely murdered the frame rate. Let's kill that off before the game decides, no, that's it, that's your lot. I've had enough of you. Get out of it. Right. Please don't break. Interesting, because adding an extra stop to the looper at the other end might have the desired effect of making the whole thing more desirable. Yeah, you can kill that. Let's get rid of it. We don't have time to hang around all day for this. Let's put our depot somewhere else, like here. Give me a depot. That'll do. Oh, you missed a sitting target there. That was foolish. Where's the next one? Where is the next one? That's a different line. Where is that? Are they all bunched up? You there? Hello. Get sold. Right, what have we got left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that'll do it. I said 5. I meant 6. Obviously, replace the lot. 16 million. Worth every penny. Probably, I hope. Anybody coming into the stadium. In fact, if I'd held the line open, I'd be able to see when they got replaced. Anyone at all? That's up the tempo, so we've got 1, and then we'll finish it up there. Right, okay, so that's gonna wrap it up for today. Just a general easing forward of some progress. But as you've been able to see from my bank balance throughout this this session, I don't really have too many money worries at present. There you go. Where's he off to? Geshennen, allegedly. If we have a look here, we're up 20 million this year. Nice. What have I spent? 132. So we're coming at the end of the year, so that's 150 million positive income that we've made, which has allowed me to spend like an absolute demon. Oh, these chaps would have been useful to have a minute ago. These double-deckers. Now, if I recall correctly, they're not actually the most profitable thing you're ever going to come across. But I'm sure I can find an application for them. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I've been Colonel Failure. There are few episodes left to go in this series, and then we shall live stream to finish it off. I will advertise this in due course, and yes, I will be editing it down afterwards so that you can see all of the nonsense that happened live. Et voila, train. Anyway, chuck a subscription in this direction if you wouldn't mind, if you'd quite like to keep up with the series, and subscribe. No, you already said that. Now, it's the other thing that you're trying to sell people on. Throw a like at this video if you enjoyed this this jaunt through the upper slopes, and I'll be back very soon with a little more of the same. Thank you very much for watching. Cheerio.